All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about the Ohio case, new information that came out on Dr. Mckee, and what actually, my opinion or theory or whatever, people, why are people coming down on so many people for just giving their opinions on the case? But the haters can be haters, and we're going to give our opinions on this. Now, bear with me because I feel like I'm under some kind of a demonic witchery attack. But so I'm going to play you a little bit, and I do believe that this is where the trouble started. I do believe Miss Monique uh, Tepe was the one that called in April, and that is her on the phone. Now, why her family is lying and saying that's not her, I don't know. I have no idea because the police are saying that the call came from inside that house on their phone. So I don't know. Someone else there and they were arguing with their boyfriend or whatever, but I believe that is her voice. Now let's listen to that real quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No. I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't mean
Okay.
nothing.
Well, can
New tonight, the ex-husband suspected in the murders of
All right, so we know that that is her. Bottom line, bottom dollar, that's her. Why is the family lying and saying that ain't her? I don't know. And that was in April. Now, he had been caught with a weapon with a suppressor on it, a silencer, which I was led to believe was illegal in the United States. You're not allowed to have one of them. And they were banned a long time ago. But see, people made ways around it and say, oh, well, it's just a muzzle brake. When really it's a silencer and it's against the law. But why we, hello, Miss ATS News. Yeah, I like that. Now, why would they lie? That is the key. Here's the thing. I was in somebody's chat and we were listening to that. And it was me and this other woman. And I'm like, I believe that's her because we were comparing both voices. This voice that we're hearing, and then we were comparing her vows to Dr. Spencer at her wedding. And it sounded just like her. Now, why are they saying, oh no, that's not her? That's not her. That's interesting because why would the police say, well, that was her? Because the call came from in that house and they even called back because she hung the phone up. They called back to make sure she was okay. So, right off the bat, someone is lying. Why the family? I don't know. I don't know. Her family to this day still swears that that wasn't Monique crying. And now we have another incident where I do believe it was Monique or Dr. Mckee that either got the house mixed up or someone was running from somebody and they knocked on the door a couple houses down from Dr. Spencer and Monique's at 2:30 in the morning. Now, that was in December of 19th, 2025, right before the New Year's, right before they were found dead. So That's very interesting. Was she crying because someone came to the house? Now, another thing I want to touch in on is some of these ladies, I think, got it right. How did he get in the house? Well, with no force entry. Well, he knew somebody with a, a key or a code, or he waited because someone brought something up that Dr. Spencer lives 75 miles away from his work and had to get up early to go to work. Now, whether he worked out or whatever and left early to go to the gym, but would Dr. Mckee wait outside the backyard by the garage? And when Dr. Spencer came out to go to work or whatever, to the gym, he grabs him and says, back in the house. And they go in the house, and then he offs both of them and walks away. Maybe. Or he pounds on the door late at night, but they had a camera. Surely they had a ringtone. Surely they would have been able to see who it was. And I do believe there was a camera in the backyard or something like that, the corner of the house or something, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that as soon as you walk up to them ring cams, your phone goes off. And they can watch everything and hear everything on them ring cams. So, what if they seen someone suspicious out there and someone knocking, don't you think they would have talked right through the ring cam? Yeah, who are you and what do you need? So it's not adding up. This is very suspicious. Now, him having hello Kel, how you doing? Him having a silencer when they're against the law in America. They were banned a long time ago. That's interesting. And his intentions were he didn't want to get caught. No one was going to hear the gunshots. That explains why the kids might not have been woken up. Because we all know if a 9mm unsuppressed went off in that house 7, 8, 9 times, definitely someone would have woke up in that house. Now, with a suppressor on it, silencer, no, it would have been, you wouldn't have hardly heard anything. So if you were downstairs or a couple rooms down, you probably wouldn't have heard too much at all. So now he's thinking like a professional, right? Now he's thinking like a pro hitman. He's going to go in there. He's going to hit the two people that are causing the trouble. And he's going to be out of there. No one else will suffer. The kids will live. And he's thinking like a real hitman. No one's going to see nothing. They might see me on camera, but they might not. Now, if he was any kind of pro, he would have surely looked up to make sure there was no police cameras around there. There was a police camera right across the street on the corner. Seen everything. If he was a real pro, he would have looked that up. Are there any cameras, government police cameras in that area? He would have went there before, which that's why I was asking when I did that one video, asking the authorities, how much footage do you have before the murders? Was he there months before scoping the place out? He wasn't sure where they actually lived, but that was somewhere in that area. Maybe. So if they go back, they might see him driving around there months, 6 months before the murders. But I could say this much. To me, listening to both recordings, her giving her vows to Dr. Spencer and then listening to the police calls, it sounds like her. I don't know why they would say it's not her because it sure does sound like her to me. And it sounded like that to a couple other people. And that's fishy. Something in, you know, what's even more crazier is people can't stop thinking that the one brother had something to do with it. The one brother in law that was married to Mo's or the Dr. Spencer's sister. And people can't get away from he looks suspicious. He does look suspicious. And you have to remember he's the first one on YouTube talking about it as it was an ongoing case. So I don't know. I don't know. There might be something deeper to this than what we are knowing. No, it might not have been really. Was there a connection somewhere within the family? How did he get in? You know, these people had cameras. If she was horrified of him, she would have never answered the door. I'm sure they had a window peep or a window. They would have seen, oh, that's the crazy surgeon, my ex-husband. Call the police. It ain't adding up, folks. So either he ambushed the Dr. Spencer or he was in cahoots with somebody and he had some way to get in that house. Hello, Miss Debbie Fox. Bear with me, I'm under attack or a curse or a spell or something. But yeah, I think we're gonna find out more as it goes on. He had a whole bunch of weapons. So this guy might have been something other than just a surgeon. He might have been a surgeon. He might have been a professional hitman. Some of these people are saying it looks like a professional job. Maybe. We live in 2026. It wouldn't shock me if he was a hitman on the side if everything was going bad. Well, you buy a suppressor, that means one thing and one thing only. When you kill someone, you don't want no one to know about it. You don't want no one to hear about anything. Not until you're far, far away. You know? And that's what silencers are for. That's why they were so big with the mafia. That's why the government banned them from the United States. Is because you can eliminate 50 people and not even hear it, you know, in a room. You'd hear nothing. Just a couple ting, 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 ting. You wouldn't even think that someone was going full crazy with weapons and killing 50 people, but that's how easy it is with a silencer. And we need to find out if the kids heard anything, right? If it comes out that the kids were woken up by a noise or yelling, you know, if they ask, did you guys hear any, you know, if they interrogate the one kid that's 4 years old, did you hear any gunfire, like firecrackers? If they say no, then yeah, they probably didn't hear it, depending on where their bedroom was. But we all know if a 9 millimeter goes off 8 times, 9 times in a house, you know, 2, 3 level, you're going to hear them gunshots, if not next door, 20 feet away. If no one heard anything, then how do they know what time the murders occurred? It would have to be the autopsy. And they would have to have a good autopsy guy to pin it down to exactly a good area of when it happened. Because without gunshots, you can't use the police camera footage because it picked up nothing but a guy coming out of the alley or going into the alley. And that's how they probably figured it out. You know, the coroner said these people died at this time, between this time and this time. And they looked at the cameras and the only dude around was that dude. That's your guy. So very interesting. All right, what do you folks think? Kelt, what do you think? Debbie, did you look at the rock clip? No, you guys are a bunch of tallywankers, but let me know what you guys think on that. No, like I said, there might be a deeper connection than what we know. A lot of people can't get away from the brother-in-law that's married to one of their family members, one of the deceased family member. That's possible. Now, to do that, you would have to be. I think they already brought this up in this case, money issues or wills or stuff like that. Maybe. Well, who knows? We know this much. He had a bunch of malpractice lawsuits against him. And then they just reopened this thing with the divorce. So if that ain't grounds to snap and try taking people out, maybe. Kelt, what's your opinion on this? Debbie said he was jilted. Yeah, he just snapped. Or there's something deeper going on. If they had cameras in that house, we'll know exactly what happened. If they had a ringtone, we'd know exactly what happened. If they had an alarm system like they're saying they did in the front yard, there's a sign, then we shouldn't be knowing exactly what happened and possibly inside the house. What do you think? Yeah, these women can't move on either. She was probably what a lot of people are saying. It was she didn't break it up because maybe money, maybe who knows. I'm thinking that a lot of these people that we've been talking to in these other chats might be right that uh, they were communicating back and forth with each other in privately. Maybe the husband didn't know. Maybe he did know. Not sure. No, but yeah, I think evidence is pointing towards maybe she couldn't let go. No, maybe I don't know. Maybe he couldn't let go. Debbie's still saying he was a jilted lover. Men can't move on. Well, listen, any men out there, if you're listening to me, you get divorced, move on. You have a girlfriend, you break up, move on. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Let me see. Debbie Fox is saying he was the one killing her. She was still talking to him, giving him false hope. She might have been leading him on for money. Who knows? Leading him on for other. Who knows? But we know who does know: the police. Why? Well, because now they have all their phone data, and they probably have any computers that he used, or she used, or any phones. They probably have all that. Eventually, we'll find out. He snapped, Debbie Fox said. Well, he might have. Lame Celt is craving butter and salt. I'm still waiting to find out how he got in. If and here's the thing, we can't believe anything these people are saying. It's all hearsay. If she was so scared of him and Dr. Spencer was so scared of him, he was so crazy, like the brother-in-law keeps saying, why would they even open the door? If you look at the photos, you can see through the door. As soon as they come down to answer the door, it's my crate. Call the police. Why would they even open up the door for him? And see, and we can't believe it. Oh, he was a jealous lover. How do we know that? Maybe she was milking him for everything he had. And he finally woke up and said, I'm tired of it. Took her out and him. Yeah, it happens. And then throw on top 7 malpractices or whatever it was, 5 malpractices, being sued 5 times. Yeah. No, we don't know. I could tell you this much, though. They had troubles before the murders, way before the murders. And there's probably stuff we're not hearing, other calls that came in from the authorities, other neighbors. And here's the thing, if it wasn't Miss Monique knocking on the neighbor's door, if it wasn't Dr. Mckee knocking on the neighbor's door at 2:30 real loud, and she thought someone was trying to break in her house. If it wasn't them, you got a nut job still running around out there that is banging on people's doors at 2:00, 2:30 at night. Debbie says maybe he's was in there waiting. They had sex and was going to get caught. Maybe. Maybe they were flirting and the husband came home, caught her, and the husband got mad and she called the police or whatever. Maybe. But the bottom line is she called in April of 2025. And the police, and she hung up. And the police called the number back. What's Miss ATS News think? Oh, on the Nick Reiner case. Why can't people realize that Nick Reiner was a troubled child? His trouble started before drugs. He was a spoiled brat. Let's see, Count said just had a ad for Little Debbie's. Where'd you have an ad at? Anyways, folks, what we're dealing with is a lot of psychological crazy people on YouTube. More crazier than I could ever be. And that's the bottom line. Our country is not safe. Our children are not safe. and it's worse than what they. I I, I don't think it's worse. I think the government was telling the truth. People didn't want to believe it was that bad, but it is. All right, let's watch a little bit more of this video. Excuse me.
There were no signs of forced entry, and since it was the middle of winter, it's unlikely windows or doors would have been left open or unlocked. I think the use of the silencer suggests McKee may have used a specialized tool to gain access, but there may also be a more innocent explanation. The Tepes had a dog, and if the dog wanted to go out, perhaps that's when McKee seized his chance. I think there's also a distant possibility that he simply knocked on the door and they opened it. But at the end of the day, we don't know how he was able to gain access without.
All right, this gentleman on this channel is saying he might have had a tool to get inside. I don't know. There would be some kind of evidence of tool marks on the door, him trying to get in. I don't know if there was any evidence of this. We know this: when the police showed up, there was three males inside the house already. Three guys already were inside the house. And the cop makes that clear in his radio transmission to dispatch. When he got here, he had three males already made entry into the house. And he says that. I don't know if there was forced entry or not. There's already three guys in the house. When he showed up, there was already entry into the house. And he makes that clear. Even though he went to the first house, the wrong address, but when he did make it there, he did report there's already three guys in the house. I'm going to the back, and it looks like these three guys already made entry to the back of the house. So, and that's the problem here I'm having with this case, is now we have a contaminated case right off the bat. We don't know if there was a weapon there. What if somebody was sent there to pick the weapon up? We don't know. There was three guys already that made entry into the back of the house, Debbie, before the police officer showed up there. They were told to wait, but they kept calling back, and dispatch told the guy, we have an officer coming back out there. Just hold on. That same guy called back within a couple minutes saying he was in the house and there was a body. So right there, now you got in the jury's eyes. Well, now what do you mean? There's three guys there. They already made. How did they get in? And what was touched? Was there a weapon? We don't know. No, not law enforcement guys, Debbie. I think they were co-workers or the family members that were already there. Three men were already there before the police got in there. Those guys, yeah, and that's what a lot of people are saying is for some reason this brother-in-law is giving off really bad vibes to the people. I'm like, Well, it's possible. Well, it looks like he's got a black eye on the one side. I don't know. Maybe. We don't know. There was talk of it was they were having money troubles or something, the brother-in-law or something in the beginning of the case. Now, do we know that's true? I don't know. It's all hearsay. All we can go by is the facts, and the facts are when the police officer showed up, there was already three males that made entry to the back. And he says that on to dispatch when he's on his radio. Entry's already been made when I got here. There's already three guys here. And they weren't police officers. Now, if you look at the photos that we're looking at, is it possible he got the dress wrong the first time? Maybe. Is it possible he hired someone to do the job the first time and they got the wrong house? It's possible. But if you look, there's two houses that are the same color, same shape. So is it possible he got, when he went there the first time in, let's say, April or December, he got the wrong house or something? I don't know. But, as Debbie was saying in chat, they probably were talking to each other. They might have. They very well might have. Yeah, it was a great live, Miss ATS News. Although, I'm all the stuff in the chat. Boy, I'm starting to feel bad for John now. The good Dr. John. And the only thing I can figure out what Lauren was wearing is she might be going out for the figure skating Olympic team. Or she's restarting ABBA. Yeah, that's what I thought. ABBA wore the same clothes. You guys remember the band ABBA? Dancing Queen? She is a dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. I feel the beat of her rhomba cheeks. She is the dancing queen. I don't know, but she's 17. That's illegal, so I'm out. But I'm not sure. Maybe. He should have given his analyst of the facts. Well, no one knows the facts except for the police. Anything else is hearsay. The only ones with the facts and the proof are the authorities and maybe the lawyers. But other than that, we're just trying to pin the dot on the donkey. Don't be jealous. She looked great in that jumpsuit, and I hope she does bring back ABBA. They had a couple great songs. And boy, they were good-looking women, too. But that's a whole nother video for another day. Tanya Harding, it could have been. She might be going out for the Olympics. Figure skating. Did you ever think maybe she was going to be a bobsledder for the 2026 Olympics? Probably not. You'll think about that now, won't you, Miss ATS News? You'll think about it now, won't you? Especially so why ATS News has said why we are commenting on her saying, though, another YouTuber. I don't know. She said none of her clothes are hers. They are all borrowed. I don't know, Debbie. I am Celt says I think she's going for the Jamaica team, and she might make it on the Jamaica team. They don't have too many people that are running bobsled this year. God bless her little heart. I hope she makes it, Miss Lauren. I hope you make the bobsled team. No, I don't think you guys should piss off Dr. John, because I seen him mad one day on his channel, and his dark brown eyes became black, and he looked right through people's souls. And that's when I was like, I'm out of here. And I had him as a suspect for the 250-pound 6 or 5'10", 5'11" guy that was walking with determination, and they said he looked like a stocky bodybuilder. I had Dr. John as a suspect. I know I was the laughing stock of Delphi, but they were all suspects on this channel. We refused to take anyone off of the table, even Keegan Klein. No, let me see what Debbie's saying. No, they're doing something with my voice chakra or something, attacking me with something. Some kind of a demonic spell or something. I'm probably called witchery. It could be. I'm not taking it off of the table. I am not taking it off of the table. I refuse to. Let me see what ATS News is saying. It's very belittlester. What? Galactic or Battlestar Galactic. Maybe she's going out for the new role of Battlestar Galactic, which they took that off of the air how many years ago? Maybe it's making a comeback. I thought she looked stunning. I was hoping she would have broke out into the ABBA song, Dancing Queen, but she didn't. Maybe next time. Just don't be jelly. You know, you ladies were jelly over the brown bikini of Nikki, and now you become jelly over the jumpsuit Miss Lauren had on. And if you got a body like she does, you can rock it. And that's what she did. And I'm sure she was holding on to John's rocket in that video you showed tonight. Miss ATS News. Don't you know that when your wife is holding your rocket underneath the table, she can say whatever she wants? And that's exactly what you witnessed tonight. Thank you very much. All right, now let's watch a little bit more of this video.
Forcing his way in. One more point to note about this whole thing about not stealing anything. This is not someone that is stealing something, or, it's not some kind of random person, someone going there to kill these two people. And the fact that it's not just one of them, it's both of them, does give one a sense that it's that there's something very personal going.
All right, there's the ringtone right there. You can see it in the film. Now I could have swore I seen something like that on the back door. So how could they not know? Listen, I work for a lady. I cut her grass. She has them ringtones all over. If I even pull into the driveway, it goes off. One day she played a trick on me. I had no idea they had a ringtone. And I was there doing work. And she started calling my name. and I can hear my name. I'm looking all over him. What the F? I thought she fell and got hurt, but she wasn't home. I kept hearing the lady's voice, and she was calling my name, and I was looking all around, and I'm not seeing nothing. I'm calling her name out. Are you all right? I'm looking all over the yard. I'm looking in the windows, and I tracked the noise down, and it was coming out of a little speaker thing by her door. She was laughing her butt off, but I thought it was God talking to me or somebody, or she passed on and was talking to me through a voice that I couldn't see. It was crazy. But if they had ringtones, as soon as anybody comes in sight of that thing, it triggers it, sends a signal right to the phone. And she was explaining it to me. She's like, as soon as somebody even comes walking up, it clicks and warning, and it sends a signal. So how did they know, or how did they not know? It was maybe them in cameras. Maybe they're cameras, but only look-alike cameras, and they don't really work. Maybe I've seen them on Amazon or whatever. Debbie's cracking herself up again tonight. Debbie says they can analyze each other's sexual prowess. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about John and Lauren? Well, they're lovebirds. Let them. Did you see once she put her hand on his knee or whatever she was touching underneath the table? He started smiling and go, all right. So her making him look like a fool disappeared as soon as she put her hand wherever it was. And that's, you women just don't know us men by now. I think Miss ATS News even said that. I think so. Who knows? Who knows? You know, we're just men. That's all we are. Just men. You women are supposed to be the superiors, supposed to run everything. Why are you even questioning us if you already know we're idiots and have two brains? I have no idea. Why are we solving cases? You women know it all. You run the world. I don't know. I'm hoping I survive. I hope we do get women in there. You know, but then again, I'm thinking if it's anything like YouTube, these women are just as crazy as the men. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. You know, I don't know. All I can say is things are not adding up. You can see the ringtone on the front door right there. Was there a camera in the back? Is that why they chose the back? I don't know. It makes sense if there was no reports and they didn't hear any gunshots on the camera that was right across the street. Then, yeah, he had a silencer and he went there to do one thing, and that was silence them two. Left the kids and left the dog. So he had some kind of morals. He was there to do a mission. That mission was them two. His mission was completed and he left. So that's professional. He wasn't worried about nothing else but accomplishing the mission. I mean, bottom line comes to bottom line. He accomplished what he set out for. People are like, well, he left the kids, he left the dog. Well, his problem wasn't with the kids and the dogs. His problem was them too. In his mind. And he had morals. He wasn't going to kill any kids. Not unless he had to. So it's obvious them kids didn't hear the silencer go off. Therefore, they didn't wake up. They didn't leave the room. They didn't see him. There was no need for him to disturb the children. The children did nothing to him. The dog didn't do anything to him. He went in there, he got his job done, and he got out of there. And that's that. Now, whether he was a pro or not, I don't know. I don't know if he's done other things before this. I don't know. Is it possible a man snaps and this is his first killing? Yeah. He planned it? Sure. He wanted to make sure no one was going to hear nothing. And if you can't hear the weapon, then there's no need for anyone to be looking, oh my God, what was that noise? Now, what my question is how come he did, before he went there, he had to know there was a police. He had to look around there to see who had cameras and who didn't. Or maybe he just didn't care. He covered his face as much as he could. And he went in and got the thing done and got out of there. I'm interested to see how many weapons he had and what kind of weapons. What kind of books he was reading. Was he reading The Master of Killing? Was he reading books on how to be a hitman, professional hitman? Did he have any military training? Was he in the service before he became a surgeon? Did he hang around with people that were, I don't know. It'll be also interesting to see what kind of stuff he watched on YouTube and stuff. Now, if you look at this case, you would say, what, is he crazy? He was a vascular surgeon. The guy made tons of money. Why would he even waste his time? Cut your losses and go on. You can make the money back. But we didn't know at the time. Lawsuits against him for malpractice. He's being sued, looked for. They reopened the case. Yeah, that's a different story, man. He snaps. I don't know, man. Was he on any meth? Did he do? What kind of medication did they find at his house? Did he have medication he wasn't subscribed to? And he was dipping into pills or whatever from the hospital. Who knows? Kelt says it's personal. Well, it always is. We know he now here's the thing, either he capped the wife once, she went down, and the husband attacked him, and that's why the husband had 7 or 6 shots in him or whatever. Or did he walk right in, cap the husband 5, 6 times, and then turn to her, capped her, and he's out of there. He's gone. Next time you see him, he's coming out of the alley. Possible. It's also possible he's going to plead not guilty, and it wasn't him. We don't know. He was crazy. He was under pressure, the lawsuits, the divorce, the reopening of the stupid divorce everyone's saying, which I don't know how you can reopen a divorce from 10 years ago or 7 years ago. I have no idea. Let me see what Kelt's saying. It's personal. Doctors know for ego, especially surgeons. Maybe. Hey, the best of the surgeons have lost patients before. Thousands and thousands of surgeons have had lawsuits against them. They didn't flip out and kill people. He probably wouldn't even lost his license. He probably would have not been able to practice surgery in them states where he held a license, but he would be able to eventually he would be able to practice medicine again or do surgeries again. That's how it works. Yes, can't save them all. No, I can't. I can't save them all. Can't save myself. Unless you have Debbie Fox says, unless you have a really, really good reason. Yeah. Miss Fox said she looked it up. You can't reopen a divorce. I didn't think you could. That's when they said they were the divorce case was reopened from 7 years ago or 8 years ago. I'm like, what do you mean? How can you reopen a divorce case? It was already settled in court. It's been 8 years. How? What? How did they reopen it? I don't know. Yeah, they had no kids or anything. He was appointed the property that he had before. I mean, it was in and out, and it was over and done with. And from then, the whole family said he was crazy. But you have other people saying, no, well, no, he wasn't crazy. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. People in his condo and everything they interviewed, and they he never bothered anybody. He was always nice. Uh, he was always cooking out on the roof with them and everything. You know, two different totally pictures. Maybe he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She said she made a mistake on the paperwork. It was a clerical court. Yeah, maybe that was enough to drive him over the edge, right? Did he get paperwork or something saying that they were reopening the thing? And he's like, what the heck are you talking about? It's been 8 years, you know? And that was enough to send him over the edge, being he was getting malpractice lawsuits on him or whatever. I think he had a couple of them. You know, we don't know. We have no idea. If it goes to trial, it'll be cool. We'll be able to see actually what conspired to all this, and if they were talking behind Dr. Spencer's back. Little Debbie Fox thinks that they were communicating with each other back and forth without the good Dr. Spencer knowing about it. Maybe she's right. Is Miss ATS News still here? I just got something sent that might be, you might see Lauren in this next, I think this is going to be her next uniform. Yeah. And I say Nanu Nanu. And you know what? She might be able to rock that jumpsuit. She might be able to rock that jumpsuit. And I don't blame her. If you got it, flaunt it. I still think the other jumpsuit is better. Brings me back to them ABBA days. Um, ABBA was huge. Dancing Queen, young and lean. Oh, she's a fighting machine. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't know. We don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just giving this ATS. It's crap. All the women jelly over her new jumpsuit. Yeah, well, I thought she looked great. I'm not gonna lie, she's a beautiful woman. I'm not gonna lie. There's no laws, folks. There's no laws for giving your opinions or your theories, and that's what we're trying to say to you, folks. In the United States of America, it's freedom of speech. If I want to be called an idiot, that's my right for people to call me an idiot, a monster, whatever. And it's my right to say whatever I want. Why? Because it's the country of freedom of speech. And when you can't give an opinion on something or voice your opinion, what is it? Suppression of freedom of speech. And we can't have that in America. I'm sorry. Now, honestly, they look like a great couple. Mr. Dr. John, you're a lucky man. Mrs. Dr. John, you're a lucky woman. Love each other and be good. Debbie said, I would never wear that. It looked like a curtain, a drape from 1970s. Let me tell you something, Miss Debbie Fox. Some of the greatest bands that you ever grew up with in the 70s wore curtains that they made into clothes. How you like that? How you like that? That's right. Curtains. When they weren't wearing women blouses, what were they wearing? Curtains that were turned into clothes. Now, what are you going to say about that? Not too much. Now, let's watch a little bit more of this video. Miss ATS News, I hope you're still listening. Hope you're still here. And Miss I Am Celt, and let me see what Debbie said. And shoulder pads. Good God, girl, stop it. Well, the shoulder pads I thought made her look more glamorous. No, I thought she looked more glamorous. It brought on the more ABBA look. Or she needs them pads there because she's going to be a figure skater for 2026 Olympics. Figure skating. Now, they fall all the time and they do all them twirls and twists and flips. Let's watch a little bit more of this video. I wish you ladies would stop being so jelly over Nikki's brown bikini and Miss Lauren's ABBA suit.
Going on. And that kind of makes sense. I think if someone wanted to stage this in a way to cover up their motive, a good idea would have been to steal something to make it look like a theft. And that is something that I think happened in the Amanda Knox case. After the fact, they tried to make it look like a burglary when I don't think it was a burglary to begin with. Number three, the 911 call in April. Now, that is harder to explain. We have no idea even who made that call, let alone what it was about. It's difficult to even begin to speculate about it, except that I would say it appears to be unrelated to the murders. When I first listened to it, I thought it was a child's voice. One possibility is that a housekeeper made the call or that it was made after a party by someone who was inebriated. When you do listen carefully to the call, it does sound like it's someone who English may not be their first language, or they may be someone who's not necessarily American. I kind of got that sense.
I don't know how you get that video don't sound like an American. Come on now. Let's play that back, all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No, I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't mean
Okay.
nothing.
Well, can
New tonight, the ex-husband.
Something is very fishy going on. That does not sound like somebody that is not an American. That sounds like her to me. I don't know. And it sounds like her to a lot of other people too. But for this guy to say, and this is a great creator, this guy's a great creator, but I don't know how he can hear that it's a foreigner or a maid that works there from a different country. This is getting crazy. Why? Because the brother in law is saying the same thing. It's not her. Well, it has to be. Someone called from that house, and the police called that house back in that number, and they picked up. So who is it? Who does it sound like to me? It sounds like Monique. It don't sound like no maid. Hello, oh no, I okay. I so I sumo ode. No, that's an English chick. 100% American woman. Does anyone else have any opinions on that call? You want to hear it one more time? I could play it back.
Order against Mckee.
Hi, this is 911. We just got a hang-up call. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No, I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't mean
Okay.
nothing.
Well, can
New tonight, the ex-husband suspected in the murders of a Central Ohio.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that don't sound like no foreigner. Does anyone else want to give their opinion in my chat? Does that sound like a foreigner or a maid? What would a maid be doing there at that time of day or whatever? Why did the maid say she was fighting with her man? Why would the maid's man be at their house? Something fishy's going on. I don't know. Open fire on anything that moves. Why? Because they're giving us no options. And when you're flying in the blind, best thing is to shoot first, ask questions later. So, I don't know. What do you think, Kelt? Debbie Fox, you think that's her voice, or do you think it's a foreigner, a maid? What do you think? And the crowd's gone silent. I guess I got their tongues. The cats got their tongues. Debbie Fox says, "Give me a T-shirt and some Levi's. I'm good." Now here are more people in the house, or now there are more people in the house. I don't think there was anyone in the house. I don't know why they're coming up with that. It does sound. I agree with the rest of the people that we were listening to in that chat, and listening to the recordings over and comparing them to her wedding vows to Spencer. And to me, yeah, it sounds like her. Now, why are they saying? I don't know. Something fishy is going on. Something fishy going on. You know, and here's the thing: is the police called right back. So what are we not hearing? Where she hung up the phone because the cop called back and said, "Well, it sounds like you were crying." And you hung up. So something was going on. So what do you guys think? Was that Monique? Or was it the maid? Or was it someone else at the party like everyone is claiming it was someone else? There was a party that day at 2:30 in the morning. He's a surgeon. He's a dental surgeon. He works. He's up till 5, 6 partying. Does he have any malpractice lawsuits against him? I mean, now the family is saying that they had parties late at night all the time. That's when they all got together and that late at night partying, kids. Something ain't making sense there. I am Kelta saying it was some foreigner. I don't think so. I think it was her. I think there was trouble. Now, whether her husband found out that maybe Mckee was giving her trouble again or whatever, or they were talking, and he got pissed, I don't know. Was it a random thing where he just woke up that day and decided he was going to get rid of his problems or one of his problems, which was the Tepe family? Cut it out. Debbie, will you guys behave yourselves? My God, these women and men, they're all nuts. Let's play that one more time just to go back over it. Can you guys hear the video okay?
A restraining order against Mckee.
Hi, this is 911. We just got a hang-up call. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No, I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't mean
Okay.
nothing.
Well,
New tonight, the ex-husband.
To me, it does sound a little bit like her, or mainly like her. And it would make sense. But I want to go back a little bit before that.
Columbus police said there weren't any reports filed regarding abuse or a request for a restraining order against Mckee.
Hi, this is 911. We just got a hang-up call. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're crying. Do you need police, paramedics, or anything?
No, I'm okay. I promise. I'm just emotional. I'm okay. I don't mean
Okay.
nothing.
Well, Ken,
New tonight, the ex-husband suspected in the murder.
Well, I don't know. To me, it sounds like her, but yeah, she sounds like ICE needed to be called. Cal. Excuse me. No, I don't think it's a foreigner. Something fishy's going on, and they'll get to the bottom of it. They'll get to the bottom of it. All right, is there anything else you folks want to throw in other than it sounds like ICE should be called on her? I mean, come on, ladies. Come on. God. Really? ICE? I am trying to get serious, Debbie Fox says. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm under demonic attack by something. And this is what we are fighting for in America. You know, there's a lot of tomfoolery, witchery, effery, whatever they're saying is going on in this country. And we now believe it. And I was looking up yesterday how to kill vampires and zombies and witches. Yeah. How they did it back in the olden days. We'd have to retreat back to the olden days of what they did. Because it was real back then. And maybe that's our problem. We stopped believing that it was real when the Bible said it was. I don't know. I got a bunch of vampires around me. In Jesus' name, take them out of here. All glory goes to God. Amen. Tomfoolery. I think he was a quarterback or something like that for Patriots or something. I think. I'm not sure. He could have been. But come on, ladies. How could you think that ICE needs to be called on that caller? It sounds like her. For one, if it wasn't her, if it wasn't Monique in that house, why would they be showing it and playing it, having something to do with the case? Ooh, and we forgot to tell you, April 19th or April something, there was a phone call from inside the house. You know, why would they even bring, if it was a proven fact where the family is saying that is not her, why would they even be using it? Why would they even release it? Well, you have to remember the authorities released this in connection with this. Why is it so hard for people to understand? I have no idea. Debbie, you're not okay. You're stoned right now with Celt. Both are on cloud nine right now. It's all right. I don't, there's no laws against it here. But, come on, folks. Why would they even be, saying that? Why would they even bring up on December 19th the next door neighbors called the police because a stranger was banging on their door real loud? These things are all connected to this case. And the authorities wouldn't release that information and pin it with this case if it had nothing to do with the case. Can we agree on that, ladies? Can we agree on that? To disagree. Agree to disagree. Miss Fox is laughing her little butt off. She's stoned on that probably high potent H2O. We're talking, that's the stuff right out of Waterboy, the movie. It's high quality H2O. It sure is. Give me some. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. What time is it? It's midnight. I'm gonna get this video over because I might get in some Xbox tonight. I don't know. I was gonna do another video on Nick Reiner. You know, I was watching a video from Morty or whatever from TZM or TMZ or whatever. I watch that, dude. They're always hip to all this stuff. And he just put out a new video that signs are pointing that Nick was on meth when he did the murders and raged in a meth rate. Yeah, very possible. Oh yeah, that meth will spring you like a chicken. And a lot of people don't realize, you know, all it is battery corrosion. It's battery acid. I'm telling these idiots, you're snorting shit. You know, when you open your car hood and there's the car battery there, you know, when you get all that blue corrosion and brown corrosion and everything on the terminals, and you got to scrape it up, that's what you're snorting in your nose. That is exactly what you're snorting. That's what it is. Street meth, shake and bake meth, and all that. That's what it is. That's why it burns real bad. It's acid. And I've been there. You'll learn sooner or later, folks. I know they say it's meth, but it really probably ain't. It's probably battery terminal stuff, which it is, shake and bake meth. What are they putting in it? Copper. Why? For the reaction. What does it create? Crystals. What happens then? Well, then you pour them crystals out onto a napkin and let them dry. What is it? Well, it's just a chemical reaction from the copper and the chemicals. And what does it do? It eats the copper away, like acid. What's on your battery terminals? Poor man's meth. Pretty much, that's what it is. I don't need to explain myself anymore. So, yeah. So, but I can tell you this much. Nick Reiner had troubles when he was a child. And the evidence is there. And even his own parents said at a young age, and his family member, even people that were maids and business people that went to Mr. Reiner's house, even said when Nick was a young kid, he would throw tantrums all over until he got his way. And they said back then he had troubles, that they thought something was wrong with him. Now, I don't know if that kid was doing meth at 11 years old and 8 years old or whatever, or drugs, but he had a problem before he. Don't get me wrong, drugs probably messed him up even worse, but he had a problem before he was older. And there's witnesses to that. So I wouldn't doubt it if he does plead insanity. They'll probably find him not guilty because his history is he's crazy. Rehab, psychological visits to doctors saying he's schizophrenic, all that. He was crazy. And therefore, then, Nick Reiner will be entitled to his inheritance. and he'll be taken care of the rest of his life, whether he's in a nut hut or a halfway house. Um, he'll have money. Let me see what Valdez is saying. Johnny plays through a Marshall stack. No, I had a stack before. Debbie Fox says she gives up. What happened, Debbie? No, he doesn't deserve that money. Well, by law. By law, Debbie. If he's found not guilty under uh, the grounds of insanity, he's entitled to that money. He's not guilty of the crimes. Because the law in Hollywood is if you're guilty of the crime of murder and you have an inheritance through the people you killed or whatever, you're not entitled to it. If you're not insane, you're not entitled to it. So his defense attorneys are going to what? Plead guilty to insanity or make it look like he's crazy, which he is. By health reasons, yeah, he is. Therefore, he'd be entitled to some of that money of the 200 million. And Alan Jackson pulling out and saying he's everyone's shocked. How can he say he's not guilty? It must be someone up because Alan Jackson is not stupid. He knows he's insane. He's got mental problems. So therefore, he's not guilty of the crimes. Although he did do them. Unless Mr. Jackson knows something that someone else doesn't know. But Mr. Jackson saying he's not guilty is the truth. Maybe Nick don't have access to the money right now. And Mr. Alan Jackson knows it and says, I can't do anything right now. No, for him. There's not, something must be going on because how does Mr. Alan Jackson not want to cover him when Nick could get 50 million, 100 million? Why don't he want to represent him? Is interesting. Debbie Fox says, I am sick of it. You do the crime, you pay the time. Don't blame it on mental crap. Well, Debbie, I know it upsets you, but it's a proven fact. Mental illness is real in the United States of America. And the struggle is real. And I'm here to testify to that. And I've been there, so I know it's real and it's ugly. It is ugly. The depression of you not fitting in the world, that itself is heartbreaking and crushing. And if Nick walked around and everywhere he went, people were like, he's a nut job. Look at him. He's crazy. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. He was probably trapped in his own world. I was. It was me against the whole world. No one, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're crazy. Yeah, I can see how this happens to people. Even little Gypsy Rose. Yeah. Even if she did bring on the whole thing, she's trapped in her mind somewhere where she was either between 5 and 8. She's trapped in her mind. She's trapped as a young girl, child. Would you want to be around some guy like with crazy eyes? I don't know. I don't want to see them eyes. I've had them eyes. I've been so pissed. I've had them crazy eyes. Let me tell you something. When you lose your whole world, everything you worked for, house, land, race cars, truck, your two Labradors, and your shed, uh, you can bet your ass I had crazy eyes. Yeah, yeah, I did. When you lose everything and then you find out it was stolen from you, that this whole thing was, oh, yeah, crazy eyes. Oh, they were calling me Johnny Crazy Eyes for a while. Even the Indians gave me the nickname. Ah, it's Chief Crazy Eyes, Johnny. Ah, we've known him for a while. He's a good man, but boy, they drove him crazy. So I know. Yeah. You get there, it's ugly. You get them crazy eyes, it's ugly. Inside your head, you're very disturbed. Got bad things going on. Let me see. Kel says, show us a picture, Johnny. I am sorry you went through all that. No, you know what? People look at my driver license now, and my driver's license is a remembrance of what I used to look like. Because people look at my driver's license and they're like, you've changed so much since this driver's license photo. And I'm like, I know. I was in a very bad place, wasn't I? And they're like, yeah, you were. Drove to it. And it was a lot of people were saying, it's almost like you went through another 48 hours with Eddie Murphy. And I was like, bingo. Yeah. Whole world taken from me. I was the bad guy, everything. I was accused of everything. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been there. Whole time innocent, everything. They were it was ugly. It was ugly. It was so ugly. The police even apologized after they found what was going on. It was all lies people were telling. You know. I did bad things when I was younger, a teen. But some of this stuff, once these people find out that uh, you're becoming something or you have something nice, they want to wreck it. Some of these people don't want me to be healed or tell the truth because then that would prove uh, that they were Shylarks, vampires. Oh, yeah, drugs, alcohol, pills, anything to kill the pain that was in my head from my accidents. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Ugly. I'll never go back there again, Jesus. Thank you for bringing me this far. In Jesus' name, amen. If I'm going to do any kind of thing, it'd probably be cannabis, but I'll never go back to where I was. Let me see. Yeah, but you went too far when you like the police headquarters. You're naughty boy. What? I didn't do anything at the police headquarters. I peed my pants in the public library, Debbie Fox said, when she was 8 months pregnant from laughing. Kelt, I didn't do anything at the police department. I didn't recognize I needed help. It took 8 police officers and family members to convince me I had a problem. They're like, we know you're not on drugs, hard drugs, but we think that you losing your whole life and your soul has caused you to go crazy. I was like, I was crazy way before then. I was just keeping it together. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, is all the child support, all this stuff, losing the house, the cars. My pickup truck and everything. I loved my little double wide trailer I had on an acre and a half of land. Had about 8, I think I had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 fruit trees, peaches, apples, cherries. I used to wake up in the morning and watch the deer eat the fruit out of my backyard. I had property right off of the DNR land that no one was able to hunt or anything. It was preserved for wildlife. I had all kinds of deer running through there. It was beautiful. It was the best time of my life. Um, and it was something I did on my own, but I couldn't do it, couldn't afford it all. And my whole world came crumbling down around me. I thought I was going to turn back to drinking alcohol heavily and hard drugs. Um, I thought I was going to do something bad to myself. I was in a bad place. I didn't care about nothing. But then the truth came out and it wasn't my fault. Right? Most of my problems weren't my problems brought on by me. They were brought on by somebody else. Whether they were jealous or whatever the situation was, maybe I stumbled onto something that I shouldn't have stumbled onto. That might have been illegal or something, and they're thinking somebody tried to do something. Thank God I'm alive. Well, not really, Cal. I could tell you what, you had to see a lot of doctors, a lot of psychologists. You have to jump through hoops for a long time. And you have to stay working. If you're going to be on disability, you just can't quit your job because you got no money coming in then. So you're messed up. You're trying to get your meds right. You're trying to work and you're trying to do all this. And believe it or not, these mortgage companies and people, when they see, it's like dog eat dog, or if you're in the wild, uh, animals. What do? They attack the weak. And these people seen that I was vulnerable and on the brink of losing it. And from what people are saying was that's where they sent the wolves in and and ripped me apart, as they say. And they did. I was only one dude. I was one man, and and I was going against a lot of people, a lot of mortgage companies and lawyers by myself, without ever stepping into court, just calling. I had $100 of phone calls, calling mortgage companies, trying to track down my mortgage, calling banks. Uh, and I was just getting the runaround. I'm like, something's either corrupt or someone's trying to rip me off of everything. And I lost it and I snapped. Last thing I remember is there was a whole bunch of police officers around. That's pretty much all I remember after that. Was someone did something wrong to me, and I was very upset. No, but at least I'm alive, right? Some people said it was a hit. Somebody tried, man, it probably was. But like I said, I was by myself. I only had so many weapons. I was in a bad shape at a bad time. I didn't have no crew. I didn't have no friend. I didn't have no. It was just me. It was just me. That was the only. That's. I didn't even have a lawyer at that time. I had nobody. My life consisted of going to work and coming home and playing music all night, and then getting up, going to work. Uh, Coming home, doing the same thing: cut the grass, do the yard work, get up, go to work, come home, play guitar for hours, go to bed, get up, go down. And I had two jobs at that time. I was working at one place, and then I was a bar backer at Fat Boys out here on the lake, uh, stocking the bar and everything at night. So I'd get home probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and have to be at work by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I was burning the wick at both ends back then. The stress alone of being a parent and or being a homeowner or just being a man in America is so stressful. That itself makes you crack. That itself will drive you nuts, especially when you're losing everything. Especially when everyone said you're a bum, you'll never be anything. You finally get something, you get on track, and someone comes along and says, no more, and takes everything. Oh, yeah, I can see how some of these dudes snap. And the next thing you know, there's madness everywhere. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish that on no man, woman, or anyone. One man against the world. Yeah, I was. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, I had some family, but the mindset I was in, uh, you couldn't tell the family. You couldn't tell anybody. What are you going to tell you? You know, I'm thinking about attacking this whole world tomorrow. What? Yeah, I know. You only got a couple weapons and stuff here. The whole world, I'm thinking about it. I mean, you can't talk to certain people about that. Yeah. So everything I kept them from what the doctor said is I've kept everything in my mind. I've had a very traumatic life. And I kept everything in and I didn't open up my feelings and I didn't talk about things. And that created a monster inside my head. You know, I'm just telling you what the doctor said. Let me see what chat's saying. That's why I can relate to some of these people that are having nervous breakdowns or psychotic mood swings or whatever. That's why a lot of people talk with me because I understand what they're going through. Pressure. We're trying to be men from men that now we learned are nut jobs. Well, I'm a man because this is what these men did, and them men now are crazy in 2026. Psychotic killers, right? So I mean, it's just crazy. All right, let me see what else is going on. Yeah, man, having a figure out society current expectations for a modern man. It is doing yeah, yeah, dude, your head. You heard the doctor and you took it to heart. That's pretty damn advanced. Well, when you ain't got no choice, you got no choice. Well, here was the thing: people were calling and trying to get me in trouble, and I do believe that is true. People were calling trying to get me in trouble. The police would be like, "What are you talking about?" And they would look at all this stuff, and then they would go, "There's no proof of this stuff." And after a while, the police were like, "This is just something's up here." I'm like, "Well, I haven't done nothing wrong. I'm just a dude, and I'm losing my house and property, and I'm going through stuff and working a couple jobs, and that fell through. Right? I couldn't do both jobs. I had to stop doing the one because I wasn't functioning right at the day job because I was up all night at the bar, stocking the bar or whatever, and then yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, when they gave me medicine, they're like, "You'll have to take this," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it. Just give it to me. I just want this stuff to stop. I'm losing everything." And everyone's like, "Oh, it was just a double wide." Hey, it was a beautiful double wide. It was a family member's double wide that I bought from them, and it was on an acre and a half of land, uh, and it was beautiful to me. To someone else, it's not. But to me, hey, I made it home, remodeled it, put a room addition on it, uh, and was on my way to having a good life. And someone came along and said, "You ain't getting a piece of the American pie," and stole everything. Well, I consider it being stolen. Uh, so, can I side with Nick Reiner? Well, I can side with, yeah, he's in a bad spot in his head, mentally, physically. Uh, can I side with Dr. Mckee in the Ohio murders? Yeah, he's in a bad spot in his head. Whenever you start thinking you're going to take people out and that's going to solve your problems, you got problems. You got problems. Well, Kel, we live in a world where we can see that we are just products of our society, our neighborhoods, and the way we were raised. It's like on a job, you're only as good as the carpenter that is teaching you to be a carpenter. It's like learning a teacher. You're only as good as a teacher is teaching you. All right, we've been. I just been chitter chatting the whole time. Debbie Fox says she's got to get it right. She says sorry. No need to be sorry, Miss Fox. And we've been at this for almost 2 hours. So I can side with a lot because I've been through a lot. And I know that it's very possible that these people went crazy. Yeah. Oh no, that's okay. That's all right. I wasn't. She don't have to come back. I mean, you ladies are your own women. You know, that's why I wrote the song "Controlled." That's why I wrote that song "Controlled" because I was being controlled. If I didn't do this, I was being given options. I felt controlled. I've been controlled my whole life, and that's when I sat when I was going through all this loss. That's when I wrote that song "Control." And that's on my YouTube channel. If you look on my videos, scroll down, you'll see all my cover songs and 3 or 4 original songs that I did. And I was actually I had that song I had visioned for something else that I was working on, like a skit, like a movie thing. Yo, Debbie's back. Did you believe even an insane should pay in some way for a horrendous crime? Or oh yeah, he'll be in a nut house. Kel, he'll be locked up in a state nut house for a while. You know, until he's cured. Until he's 100% cured, and the doctors and the psychiatrists say you don't have to be here no more. They just released a guy that committed a murder, and a lot of people are pissed because he did 10, 15 years or whatever in a nut hut, and the doctor said he don't need to be here no more, and they released him, and he's functioning just fine in society now. So yeah, he did his time in his nut hut. That was his punishment, and some of them uh, hospital nut huts and stuff are just as bad as prison. I'm sticking with I believe the government and the doctors that we and the scientists that we live in a sinister world, a very sinister world, and I've seen it. Very sinister, very ugly. What I can't stand is these people picking on people with disabilities. They've been using us for a long time to do very bad stuff. And that's why I've grown, having family members that now passed that was in the military and stuff, listening to them talk about Hitler all the time and all this other stuff, and then to see it with my own eyes with us, like guinea pigs or something. These people are voodoo dolls or magic or whatever. It's horrible. Well, I mean, I can understand how he's lost his mind. He's on meds. He's doing meth, cocaine, heroin, whatever it is, smoking cannabis or whatever, on top of meds, kelp. So I can understand. I don't know if I can say I can uh, identify with him, but well, I guess I can because I've been there. At one point in my life, whatever I can get my hands on, if it killed the pain, I did it. And I thought it was working, but it wasn't. I still had a concussion. It worked for only so long, but then the pain was still there. And that's what's wrong with head traumas because you suffer for a long, long time. There's good days, there's bad days. I was never violent. I just didn't go crazy and start wiping people out. Verbally, I might have been violent. Verbally, I was saying very demonic stuff. I really was. You know, I really was. And then I looked into, is it possible somebody laid hands upon me and put some kind of evil in me? And then I started researching that. Did someone curse me? Was this someone else's curse? And they tried to give it to me. I was looking into all kinds of crap. And I don't want to ever go back there again. And it's possible. My research showed, yeah, it's very possible. Or did somebody try and kill me, but I survived? Because I looked like death warmed over. I did. So I started researching that, and it's possible. And a lot of people are saying, well, why do you keep saying it? Well, because it's possible. And 9 out of 10 times, it's the people that are saying you're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about. And that could never happen, are the ones that are doing it. And them are the ones that are doing it. Yeah. Our research did show that that is plausible and very possible. Let me see what Cal said. Maybe it's not too healthy for you. Oh, I already read that one. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wasn't as crazy as, him to go kill people and stuff, but I was thinking that way. Oh, yeah. When I lost everything, didn't know where my kid was, when I was in bad shape in the hospital. Um, I can tell you, man, I was thinking even about taking my own shit. You know, I was in a very dark place. I was in so much pain, my head and everything. I was in so much pain. I think the pain will drive you crazy. Like I said, there's good days, there's bad days. I thank God my days never got that bad where I ended up killing people like Nick Reiner or these other people. You know, all glory goes to God for that. Yeah, if you don't get help, Kel, you're right. If you don't get help, you're going to end up either in jail or dead. You're 100% right, Kel. If you don't take the help, and you can't be on the meds like these dudes are doing and these ladies on YouTube. They take the meds for a couple days, they feel better, and then they stop taking them. You know, that's actually doing more damage. When you're on psychological medication like that, you have to take it every day. And you have to take it for more than you have to take it every day for the rest of your life, really, unless the drugs are starting to build up in your system and kill you. Then you have to come off of it for a while. But you can't take it for a week and then stop taking it. And you'll know when your meds are doing their jobs is you are going to put on weight. You are going to eat more. You are going to drink more water. You are going to put, that's when you know the meds are working. Yeah, I put on a lot of weight. People said I never looked better. There was a point in my time where I looked uh, in good shape, and that's because I was taking medication once a day, many years, eating properly. I think my weight really ballooned is when I had my gallbladder taken out. I think that's when I really started ballooning, and they were like, "Well, we got to cut back your medicine." It all worked out, but now I'm completely off of it for a while because it almost killed me, built up in my system, and I had to take it. And but what I did realize now, and like I said, I have bad days, but I know in my head that it's in my head, and that's it. I know reality from fantasy. Thank God. But you're only going to learn that after you go to doctors for so long and after you take the medication for so long. Then you'll realize, oh, well, maybe I did have a problem. And when this starts happening, I have to realize that it's only in my head. It's my sickness. And it's not me. It's not really me. And you'll train your brain like a military soldier. You will. You will overcome and adapt. I don't know. That's just what I did. That's what I did. I finally realized in my life that I had a problem. And that was half of the battle, probably three quarters of it. And what am I seeing on YouTube? A lot of people that, well, they can't admit they got problems. I got a problem. YouTube every day. I'm sick of it. To be honest, I'm telling you the truth. I'm sick of YouTube every single day. It's almost like I am possessed. If I don't go on YouTube, my whole world goes crazy. The apartment starts creaking. No joke. Until I go, I think someone sent me a spirit or something, or magic, or did something. Maybe. I'm just saying. I'm the type of dude where if I'm going in, I'm going in. So if I'm going to start reading the Bible, I'm going to believe everything, right? If I start learning how to build something, I'm going to learn how to build it. It's like playing guitar. If I'm going to play guitar, I'm going to learn how to play the song and sing it at the same time. Why? Because that's just what I am. I don't know what to say. That's what I am. It might be wrong, but I'm going to do it until I get it to somewhere close. That wall might not be level to a speck of dust, but it'll be level enough where you could put a ball on it and it ain't going to roll off the whole wall or whatever. I don't know. So can I relate to these people that are going through bad times, jail and all that? Yes. And the only reason is because I've been there and experienced the things they're going through now. Thank God I didn't hurt myself or hurt anybody. Or I would be where Nick is. I would be where Dr. Keep is. I would be where Brian Kohlberger is. I would be where these YouTubers are now on the brink of insanity. You know, always running, always, yeah. Thank God, Jesus. Thank God, Jesus. Amen. Ain't nothing worse. Ain't nothing worth murder unless you're defending yourself or your family and your own property or whatever. You know, and this is what I'm saying is you can't brainwash and have someone believe the Bible their whole life and everything that Jesus and everything he said and someone comes up and kills your family member and you kill them back. You know, when the Bible talks about Jesus was peace, forgiving, turn the other cheek, and all this stuff. And then, you know, it's very psychologically, you look at it sometimes, it's like, ugh. But then in the Bible it says, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Like, wow. It's like the devil's in there and God's in there. Which one's the devil? Which one's God? Whew. Very, very disturbing. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to anything I say. Don't listen to nothing. What time is it? 1 o'clock. All right, I think we're going to end this video. I got way off track. Excuse me. We're supposed to be covering the case and talking about the case, and I got sidetracked. And I need to learn from the best of these YouTubers. That I can't be sidetracked. I got to stick to the video, make my point, say what I got to say, cover what I got to cover, and then get off. And then start another video just to ramble, rant, whatever. But I got to stay focused myself on these videos. Let me see what Kelt's saying. You're addicted. I probably am. Kelt says, sure, but it isn't Jesus the most godlike. We can desire to follow Jesus, but it is impossible to be. Exactly. I'm not Jesus. And I ain't the devil. And I choose to follow something good than bad. You want to call me crazy? That's fine. I've already been labeled by the top scientists. But then again, I'm going to tell you folks, Einstein was crazy to scientists and doctors. George Washington was crazy to people. Just about everybody that was somebody was crazy. Even they said Jesus was out of his mind of crazy. All glory to God and Jesus. He is the way, and he wasn't that crazy, was he? Boy, I must not be saying good things because I'm getting attacked. Feel like I'm being choked or something, or someone's getting choked or something. Jesus, if it is someone being strangled, can you help them in Jesus' name? Amen. No, I'm going to end this thing because I'll just keep rambling on all night. You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I would love to break away from YouTube. Then again, I need something in my life to break away from. That's worth breaking away from. What do I do? I play guitar all the time, and then that's what I did. That's all I did for I don't know how many years. Play guitar on YouTube every single day, and then people got sick of that. So all you do is play music and stuff. You know, everyone complaining. Do something to take up your time and help you. All right, I'll play guitar, do stuff, and like that, and then that's all you do. You don't do nothing but that. You got no time for nothing. We live our lives doing what other people want because we want to feel part of something, or we don't want to feel crazy because all I did was sit around and play guitar for 8 hours a day, or do chores or cut grass or whatever. I don't know. Pretty crazy if you ask me. You got to be tough to stay on a path and tell everybody, screw you, I'm doing this, whether you like it or not. I've done that too. Been knee deep in shit. And then turned around and said, oh shit, I shouldn't have done this. You got nobody there to help you pull you out of this sink pit. You're just sinking in a world of shit you just went and created. Causing havoc all over the world and everything. My God. What Debbie say? Who said that about you? Playing guitar as an idiot. Yeah, that's all I did, Debbie. I'm telling you, before you came along, Debbie, all I did was play music on YouTube and Pro Tools. That's all I did. I had tons of videos. And then they were striking me left and right, man. I was like, I gotta start taking down these videos. And everyone, and then everybody around me is complaining. That's all you do is sit home and you play your guitar and make your videos on YouTube. Then I would be like, you guys want to come over here? It's cool. Come on over. And everybody, I ain't going on YouTube. I don't know. And that's what I did for a long time. I wrote songs I got in my YouTube Pro Tools or my Pro Tools on my computer. I was writing songs for movies I was thinking about. That song, Controlled, was written for something I was working on by myself. No, I'm going to show these people what I'm talking about. Dang people. This stupid YouTube. Hold on a minute. Let's back out here. Let me see if I still have it on my channel. Yeah, it was many years I was on my own. I didn't even accept calls from people. My own family were gone. Well, I'll show you this. This was one of the songs I did for something I was working on, like a movie thing for myself. I wasn't working on it for someone else. This was for myself. and 2 or 3 vocals, which I did with a pitch shifter in my Cakewalk, my other computer, which is a music creator program. So I'm gonna do this song, and I'm gonna use some video effects to go along with it. And hopefully this turns out okay. I'm experimenting with these video effects and how I can use them. So I'm gonna play along one guitar part on this, and the other 4 are going to be played through Windows Media Player, because I can't do all the parts at the same time because I recorded them separately, and we'll see if this. All right, so why won't it let me go to full screen? This works. You might see me in the background playing guitar if everything works all right. Yeah. I had a whole movie worked out in my head. Now, all these swirls and colors were what was going on in a part of my life where I was that messed up. Inside my head was like a hurricane. It was just spinning around, a storm, giant storm. It was a mess. But I had all kinds of stuff. Why? Well, because I watched a lot of documentaries back then when I was healing myself, right? And the doctors were healing me and giving me medication. I had like 3 operations. And all I did was sit home and play guitar and watch documentaries. And I just had this whole thing in my head. It was unbelievable. Music to go with it. Well, because I was watching a lot of documentaries where these guys were like Jimmy Page was doing documentary stuff, putting music to movies and stuff like that, as he was still playing music with Zeppelin and stuff like that. Pink Floyd and all that, the documentaries on them, how they made a record with video and move, this whole movie thing to, I don't know, it was stupid stuff. But I did that for a while. That's all I did. Couldn't do too much after my operations. Had to sit, had to take medication and all that. That's all I did. That was spooky. Yeah, it gets pretty spooky in there. The lyrics are, "We are here, and we have come to take the day." I can hear you, but I can't see you. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. At the end, I used what was on Rush's record. We have come to take the day, and we have regained control. On one of the songs on Rush's, at the end of it, you hear a guy, "We have regained control. We have regained control." So I put that at the end of it. I have my voice pitch machine. I have Pro Tools with all kinds of effects. I have Cakewalk, which are two recording programs. And that's all I did. And I took a little bit of this, took a little bit of that. And I was listening to that Rush song, and I'm like, I'm going to put that at the end of this, where it says we have regained control. And it says it numerous times. I repeat it at the end of the song. So, and that was me saying that I finally regained control of my life and body and brain and everything. I don't know if you can hear the lyrics, though. The recording that I downloaded wasn't good. Plus, I was playing Pro Tools, and the tracks that I can't play the 3 or 4 guitar parts in the song at the same time. So I played it, and I only played one track. I only played one part, the lead part, on my guitar as Pro Tools was running, and I was recording this video. And you can kind of see me in the background playing the guitar. All right, I posted that video in chat. You might be able to hear it better if you just go to that video and play it. I got all kinds of them songs in my computer that I made for this movie. I'm sorry. I had nothing better to do. I didn't have anything better to do, and I had this whole thing in my whole mind. And yeah, I had dark stuff. You know, asking God to help me. I'm locked in these four walls. If you listen to that, the lyrics. Hello, me. It's me again. You know, that was a little bit of a Mustaine, sweating bullets. He's got that one little part in there. Hello, me. It's me again. You know, and that was what was going on in my head. The ending of the song was, we have regained control. We have regained control. And then me laughing. But I had a voice pitch machine, so it made it sound deeper and creepier. Let me see. Take a brave person to share their journey. That effect reminds me of those tubes we would look through, and it turned all kaleidoscope. And it would change. Yeah, kaleidoscope is what they call it, Kel. Yeah, that's all I did. And research stuff like documentaries, watch that. I did. I'm not going to lie. I looked into a lot of witchery stuff, sorcery, if it was possible to put curses on people. Uh, I looked into all kinds of stuff because I wanted to find out what was wrong with me. I even looked into generation curses of something somebody might have did 10,000 years ago that I was related to. I looked into all kinds of stuff, man. I just wanted to be normal again. But then I realized I was never normal after my accident when I was younger. I was never the same. I think that's what helped me the best, was realizing I'll never be what I was. And it's because of my problems I had. My accident, and which brought on other things, which brought on alcohol, which brought on all kinds of stuff. Yeah, not being able to control my emotions and everything. Yeah. Yeah. And you're not going to change until you realize that. That's why I'm telling these other people on YouTube. Oh, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for Ernie Show. Feel bad for a lot of these dudes, but they ain't ready to be fixed. No, they're not ready. They don't want to do it for, they don't want to admit there's a problem. Yeah, Celt, it did look like a kaleidoscope, didn't it? Well, let's end this. Then people are jealous. People get jealous. I don't know. It's part of life, man. It's something people do. Some people don't. Some people do. Get jealous or whatever. Yeah. No, are people jealous with me? Oh yeah. And also me jealous with people. Oh, sure. But not enough to do anything stupid. Right? If anything, jealousy makes you do something better. That's the way I looked at it. Oh, he's jealous. Well, do something better. You don't need to be jealous then. No, he took my girlfriend. Well, what did he do that you don't do? Right? Be you. Find the right woman. If it don't work, it don't work. Walk away. Nothing worse. I don't think these people ever been to a jail or a prison. I know my experience with it. Well, it wasn't fun, and that's probably why I didn't become a criminal. You know, 30 days. You know, a couple days locked up in a town jail or whatever is different than doing something really bad and you got life to do in prison. Are you kidding me? I don't think these people ever really been inside like that too. Your whole world is taken from you. Your privacy, uh, everything. Your pride, your everything. Prison is not good. I suggest you folks get into a uh, different job title or something. It seems some people are rather comfortable in prison environment. Why else would they keep doing the bad stuff and being sent back? Exactly. I can't answer that question. I wish it on no man or woman. But I don't have all the answers. And we live on a world that goes by the Bible. And if that's real, then these people are demonically possessed. If you're not going to live by it and believe it, then why teach it? And why continue the madness when you can break the chain? And once you break the chain, then we're truly free. I wouldn't want to spend one day in jail, not even if it was for charity. Not even if it was for charity. Nope. I had big dreams. I was somebody. But someone came along and decided they were going to take what I had. Now, it is true I could have done a lot of damage. But I chose not to. I told them choke on it. I'll see you in hell. And I walked away. Until this day, these people still can't figure out why I walked away. Because at that time, I was in position I could have caused a lot of damage. But I chose to walk away. And that's what I did. Lost everything and walked away. Call me a wimp, call me whatever, but I walked away. Like I said, it was only me against the whole world. And when family turns your back on you and you ain't got nothing but God, you have to make a decision. I chose to walk away from it, and that's what I did. No one got hurt, and I was the only sucker, and I was the only one that lost money. Life goes on. Now I want you folks. Let me see what Kel's saying. Not saying weak about what you just said. No, I mean not even going to jail for a week. I know, Kel. It was about something about people who didn't even not serve God. I don't know. I didn't kill anybody. I did pray to God a lot. Kel, I did pray to God a lot. Hey, you getting major operations. You start praying to God a lot. I know I did. All glory goes to God. Whether he helped me or not, I prayed to him. I didn't pray to Satan, I know that. All right, now we're going to end this thing. God bless everybody. There is hope after drugs, after mental illness, after abuse. There is life. Try and find it and live it the best you can, folks. Now, you folks have a great night. Be safe. Lock your doors and windows. Stay warm. And we'll see you next time on Johnny Kramer's Music Movie Channel. Talk to you later.